My goodness, we are live. Hi, everyone. It is so great to be live again. It has been quite a long time, I feel like. When's the last time we did a live together? I feel like this is, I'm going to keep going. This is our third season doing a Facebook Live, but we have not been live for, I want to say maybe about 3 or 4 months. It's been a while. And I just love the energy of just being live and being able to talk to you directly here on Infinite Screen Time and just bring you what I call the people who inspire. And so this is season 3. I'm so excited to be kicking it off today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my guest in a moment. But right now, I just want to welcome you. Welcome to Infinite Screen Time, Fireside Chats, hashtag people who inspire. Welcome to the Infinite Screen Time page. Just wanted to do a quick little introduction for myself in case this is the first time that you're here. My name is Arcadia Kim, and I am a mom of 3 screen time loving kids. I am live casting from Hong Kong right now. And if you don't know a little bit about my background, I am the ex-Chief Operating Officer of Electronic Arts Los Angeles, where I got to work on some of the video game greats like The Sims, Lord of the Rings, Command and Conquer, Medal of Honor. And I spent over a decade working in the video game industry. And I'm a gamer myself, but more importantly, now I'm a mom. And Infinite Screen Time is born of these 2 disparate parts of my life of trying to reconcile what it means to have been making video games and working in the high-tech world and trying to raise kind, joyful kids. And I love my screen time, and I have come to the conclusion that this new evolved way of parenting around screens and technology, we need to remove the guilt, shame, and fear about screen time. So it's about recasting it. But you know what? If you're here, you can just think of me as your screen time squad mate. I'm the person that you can talk to if you've got issues and questions about screen time, particularly in the intersection of parenting and technology. I'm so excited to be coming to you today because I am kicking off a wonderful season connecting with people who inspire me. And today I am talking with my dear friend Deepa, who is the founder of Deepa is RAEwithDeepa. And today we are going to be hearing about, she's on the screen. Today we're going to be hearing from her and her journey to supportive parenting. Just a little bit about her background. She was born and raised in India, and I met her when she was living here in Hong Kong. She moved here to Hong Kong in 2007, so she was here for 14 years almost, and she recently moved to Singapore. She's a founder with RAEwithDeepa, and it's an organization that focuses on parent and life coaching. And it hopes to support parents of all different stages of their parenting with kids of all different ages. She has 6 years experience in coaching, enriching herself, in being a mother, and also being a life coach for leaders. And she supports parents to raise responsible, confident, and happier kids. It is her passion to talk about raising kids and being a parent. And she's completed her PCC coach training, and she is an ICF coach in the making. And so I want you to learn a little bit more about what RAEwithDeepa is about. And I have in the events put all of these links that you can talk to her and understand more about what her mission is. But today we're just having a conversation with 2 people. I'm going to put it back into kind of like this talking mode. Hi, welcome as the first guest for season 3 on the Fireside Chats for Facebook Live Infinite Screen. And that is like a mouthful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this is all about you and talking about what your journey has been. Can you tell me about yourself, Ray? I know a little bit about you, but you can tell my guests and people who follow Infinite Screen Time. Tell me about yourself and some of the work that you do.
Thank you so much for giving me this lovely opportunity. Thank you, people who are on my Facebook and your Facebook here supporting. People who don't know me, I'm a mother of 22-year-old boy who is currently in his final year of undergraduation program. And as Arcadia mentioned that I'm born and raised in India. I'm raised in a joint family. We are 3 siblings, and I'm married almost 27 years. And I moved recently to Singapore. My heart is still in Hong Kong. My physical body is in Singapore. So this is my little bit of personal journey. On my professional journey, back while I was in India, I was working with different banks. However, that is a very long past, but I discovered myself in Hong Kong. And what I mean by discover is that through my parenting, I got to understand who am I, what are my challenges in developing a relationship with my child. And because of that, I always advocate that parent-child relationship is such a sacred relationship where a parent, a mother, or a father can learn about themselves, because this relationship carries a lot of emotion, a lot of pressure, and they talk about yourself. And when it comes on the face, then parents try and plunge into taking look within. And that makes it even more sacred and spiritual journey.
I love this concept. Yeah, I feel the same way that my kids are constantly molding me and teaching me about how to be a better human. And this exchange, I love the fact that you said a sacred experience, a sacred relationship. So tell me how you came.
Absolutely.
So tell me how you came to the concept of RAE with Deepa.
Oh, so this, I would say that I had to really think about what could be my company's name or my logo, which is really true to me. It took really a long time. And RAE stands for, there are 2 things behind it. RAE is an acronym of reflect, adapt, evolve. And this is like mantra now for me when I'm practicing consciously. And reflect means what? When you're anxious, happy, scared, fearful, angry, what do? Either you react or take a pause, reflect. Why am I getting anxious? What is there who's making me angry, right? So in the moment, either you're doing 2 things, either reacting or taking a pause, reflecting, hence responding. So reflecting is the first pillar to be a better human being rather than being a parent. So I call this reflect is the most essential ingredient to be a better human being. And adapt, when you see that that's something which you are not liking about the outer circumstances or within yourself, we adapt new strategies to overcome or to live with it. So this is adapting new self, adapting new strategies and skills, because and it's not new. We all talk about it all the time, that life is about growth. It's not about stagnation, right? So how are we moving ahead? Of course, in the professional life, of course, in the academic life is different, but how are we moving ahead within? Once we move forward within, then only we can manifest this growth outside in the world. So adapting, we need to adapt. And third is evolve. Evolve is mastering the skills, erasing your patterns and adapting new patterns or new skills and mastering them and evolving with those new skills.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my RAE mantra. And secondly, I came out to be like RAE. RAE is also signifies ray of hope.
Mm-hmm.
And in Hindi, my name, Deepa, is meaning, in Hindi, it means light. So it really, resonates in totality. Who am I?
I love that. That's so
Yes,
interesting. Yeah. And so it like kind of
yes,
really brings it together. So tell me
yes.
about supportive parenting and your coaching. Tell me how you came up with that, and what your journey was to this idea.
So this is very interesting, Arcadia. As I said, this relationship, parenting relationship, is very sacred. And at the age of 11, almost 10, 11 years back, when my son started challenging me, what does that mean? Challenging is that he started asking to take control. And I didn't know how to let go of that control. And I took it as a challenge because our setup, our institution, parenting institution is like, no, child must listen to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in my mind, oh my God, I'll be a bad parent if I can't control my child. And that's when something really struck me was that, you know, it's something more to it. Why am I feeling when he's asking to be independent? What is there is fearful for me in this journey? And trust me, I started looking for support. I did not find anything in, physical or a structured support for the parents. And I'm very, very grateful for my peers, my family, and friends who supported me in this parenting journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very grateful. I keep on saying this, that it takes a village to raise a child. I know its importance because I myself is being raised in joint family, right? So I know how important it is for the child not to continuously see my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see other people's faces. And unfortunately, what is happening today is that the students, the children, the kids are living in the nuclear setup. And more so because of the COVID, we are also confined within the family. So students, children, kids doesn't have any other avenue. And even for that matter, parents doesn't have much of avenue to go and consult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that it really is very, very important that it takes a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
And in the RAE, I would say I do three fundamental pillars are there for me where I do my coaching with my parents. The three fundamental pillars are positive mindset, effective communication, and emotional resilience. These are like, after working for several years and my personal experience, I understood that these three are very, very key. In any situation, the parents can be, if they put these kind of formulas, they overcome the challenge and they look within. And how I work with the clients is very simple, one-to-one, and where parent come with their unique circumstances, a situation. I'm not calling it as a problem. I'm specifying this as a situation where they don't know how to deal with it, or where they're challenged or they're struggling, right? Because the world is changing so fast. So I call it as a unique situation. They come with their unique situation, and I show them the mirror. How can they use for their benefit, for their connectedness within the family, deeper connections, and move forward rather than struggling with that situation.
I see. That's interesting.
And then I have a modules where parents can work individually with the spouses or with the like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the second service I provide. And on top of it, I have a beautiful gift for my community, which I run, is the dialogue hour.
Mm.
Right. So I have completed 3 or 4 dialogue hours. Unfortunately, I couldn't continue, but I'm on the journey to restart my dialogue hours, probably from next year onwards. And because of the move, I was taking a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is what it is about supportive parenting. Did I answer your question?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And tell me more about what this journey is like. If you know, you've talked about sort of what RAE is and what it stands for and your 3 pillars. Can you tell me why is it that parents need this idea in their lives? See, you touched a little bit about it, about some of the fears and control. Can you elaborate a little bit more about why this is so essential for our parenting?
This is a very good question. I'm glad that you asked that. You know what? As parents and of this century parents, where all the comforts are under our belt, we parents who aspire to provide our children the best. Not that our parents did not aspire to give us the best, but more so in this generation, parents aspire to provide the best. And the struggle comes when the parents does not know the right way to provide.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say, and then they start struggling, right? What I mean by start struggling, anxiousness, fear, competition. What will people think about them? How my child is going to survive? Screen time, right? They don't know because we were not grown in these kind of atmosphere. I was raised in India in a different setup. And how can I apply that kind of parenting, which was 40 years back, in today's generation? For today's generation, where entirely everything is different, mindset is different, circumstances are different, peers are different, culture is different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So to make that aware, even though we know it as a parent, but we don't know the methods to overcome these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when supportive parenting come in, pitch in, and support the parents to reach to their desired destination. And I would not say desired destination, because parenting is not a destination, it's a journey. So so pardon me if I use the wrong word. So this is a journey. So where the supportive parenting take all might and support the parents so that they can walk the way they want to.
Yeah, right. That's beautiful. How do you think this method, the supportive parenting method, and that kind of relationship would lead to a more harmonious relationship between parent and child?
Oh my God, this is harmonious, gives me, little goosebumps. Why I say this goosebumps, because this is the goal of supportive parenting. Harmonious parent-child relationship is an overarching goal of supportive parenting and RAEwithDeepa, which means if any parent comes with any sort of problem, deep down, the need of the parent is they need to have a deeper connection and harmonious connection with their child.
Mm-hmm.
We can get away with our spouses, we can, our parents, we can walk away with our friends, but we cannot walk away with our children. That's one relationship is what keeps us going, allows us to look within, as well as allows us and gives us the opportunity to work on ourselves and to be a better human being. So your question, what you're asking is, I lost my chain of thoughts.
Oh,
Could you support me with the question?
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's about, how,
Harmonious parent-child
yes, yeah.
relationship,
How do we
right?
get to, yeah, how would that help?
So
Yeah.
we can wean off other relationship, but we cannot wean off from our child's relationship,
Yeah.
right? So the deepest desire is to have the best of the connection with the child. So I use this as my goal. Yeah.
So now, having a harmonious relationship with your child, we've talked a little bit about this before. It doesn't mean that everything is always great, right? There's going to be struggles. Yeah. So can you talk about what are the struggles that we can expect if we try to go about the supportive parenting method? What are the struggles that we would, that would happen?
Thank you for asking this question. And that's where I'm teaching or preaching or coaching my clients and my fellow mothers and parents. Is it about positive mindset? Why even I'm thinking as a struggle at the first place? And if you notice that I don't call it as a struggle, I call it as a situation. And once you start looking into a particular situation with the neutral mindset, then it is easier for us to move forward, right? And as it is, if we call it as a struggle, then it's so hard to come out of it. It requires a lot of might and power to bring out of yourself from that situation. So having said that, today, you know it, we all know it, screen time is all about knowing. We all know how parenting works. What I'm talking is nothing new. Nothing new. We all know that the circumstances, culture, everything has changed and the parenting style has changed. But the biggest challenge is that we know it, we don't own it, we don't practice it. Hence, we don't become. So knowing and being, this is the knowing, we all know it. But why can't we be a parent who we want to be? Because it requires a lot of work in between. It's a doing which goes inside it. So it's a lot of hard work. And that is the biggest struggle for the parents.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the hardest jobs in the world, actually, being a parent.
Absolutely. But on the contrary, I would say parenting is a fundamental building block for newer generation. There is no formal education on parenting. Even though this is the most important job we all do. We are taught to be a CEO, we are taught to be a financial advisor, we are taught to be, anything XYZ, marketing, sales, blah, blah, blah. And today, even we are taught how to market yourself, but we are not taught how to be a parent. So when this is such an important job as parents we are doing to create a newer generation or future, it sounds very philosophical, but this is so true that I feel that parenting is about me, not about the child. So if I do it right, I have the assurance and faith that the child will be good. Not good like should be good, but he or she in their capacity will perform their best.
I see. Oh yeah, that's interesting perspective on the whole on parenting. So we're gonna go next into what I call the lightning round that we do on my fireside chats. It's sort of a way.
I'm so excited.
It's sort of a way to kind of connect the technology, right? And our relationship with technology with whatever topic that we have. I am curious as a parent, as an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, and just a mover and shaker of the world. What are your essential apps that you have on your devices? What are
Oh
the
my
apps that you
God.
cannot live with?
This is so uh, not a good question for me. Let me put it like that. The biggest challenge I'm facing right now, moving from Hong Kong to Singapore, is Singapore is highly digitalized.
Mm,
And I realized and I acknowledge myself that I'm too much of people person.
mhm,
And when it comes to digital, I kind of like hate it. Having said that, bank, Facebook, WhatsApp, social media, YouTube, what else? And all my shopping apps.
mhm, mhm.
Those are my lifeline apps. Yeah,
Yeah.
if that supports your
Yeah, we talk
question.
about this because we know that technology has changed everything in the way that we do
Absolutely,
everything, right?
absolutely. And of
Um,
course, yeah,
so
yeah.
I know that
So sorry.
you have a 21-year-old, right? So he's not a kid really anymore. But your clients, what are the essential apps that your clients feel for their kids?
For their kids, it's an interesting question. Did I even ask this question to them?
Well, is there
Because
anything that they talk about, that you've sort of seen as,
they only come to me with the furious and anxious behavior is that, oh my God, my child is not listening to me and I don't know how to get them off from screen.
Mhm,
This is what their pain is basically. I've seen mothers coming to my house or here and there, controlling Wi-Fi time, controlling, allowing, giving them permission to play on certain, gaming apps. So there are definitely, because children need to belong to their community,
mm,
right? So
mm,
they need to, I'm using the need, not want. They
mm,
need to belong and they have to do what the whole world is doing, right? They cannot be kept away. And that's what probably your screen time, infinite screen time is talking about,
mhm.
and preaching how to maximize the benefits. So if I connect with your previous question, that what are my favorite or essential apps? So how I distinguish is what are my recreational apps and
Right.
what are my lifeline apps.
Mhm, mhm.
So that's how I have also named my apps also like that. Like all my Facebook, WhatsApp, and all, they come in the category of my family,
Mhm, mhm.
right? And my car comes, all my transportation apps comes in my my travel life, something like. So I've created that kind of reminder that
Yeah,
those are my
yeah,
lifelines.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that tip. I actually I talk about that a lot in infinite screen time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
I wrote a blog post about do you know Marie Kondo? Do you know who she is?
Of course, of
Yes.
course.
So how to Marie Kondo your apps and
Mm-hmm.
organize them in a way that they become more useful, and then you can spark more joy
Of course.
in your screen time use.
Yeah.
I love asking this question, particularly because, we're all kind of entrepreneurs in this space, right? What is the last
Yeah.
new thing or skill that you have learned?
Oh my God. So this is a very new phase for me in my life, which is moving from Hong Kong to Singapore. This allowed me to reflect.
Mhm,
The whole move allowed me to reflect within me what is really I'm looking for in my next phase of life, right? So this is a huge learning for me
yes.
in terms of within learning,
Yeah.
and external learning is what I just mentioned in my introduction, that I am going to be a PCC coach. I'm in making of my PCC coach. Yes. So this is my external practice going on to be a ICF accredited coach.
What can you, what's what does that stand for? ICF and then PCC?
So ICF, thank you for asking that. ICF stands for International Coach Federation, where then I get accredited by the authorities of ICF to practice as a life coach.
Okay. And then the PCC is?
So these are 3 levels,
Oh,
ACC, PCC, and MCC. So I'll start as ACC, but I've already done the training of being PCC. ACC is Associate Coach, and PCC is Professional Coach. MCC is Master Coach.
Oh, I see.
So I've already done the training of PCC, being a professional coach. It's just that I have to complete my performance evaluation with my mentor. That's why I'm saying I'm in making.
I love it. I love it. We're always in making.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in Infinite Screen Time, we have this really interesting kind of rubric that we use to categorize our relationship with screen time in relation to our families. And so, and I think that this will still apply for your 21-year-old. How would you describe your relationship with your kids when it comes to screen time? And you know, these analogies are, I apologize, very American, because they are part of a kind of American culture and cartoon culture. But I'll explain it to you. Are you a Flintstone? A Flintstone is this cartoon that was about a family that was living in the Stone Ages, all right? And so we are both terrible with technology. Are you a Simpsons? A Simpsons is a modern cartoon, right? Where, you know, Bart Simpson, the kids, and Lisa Simpson are a little bit more clever than their parents, Homer and Marge. And so are you a Simpson, where your kid is a little bit more clever than you when it comes to technology? Are you a Peabody and Sherman? Peabody and Sherman is a wonderful cartoon about a parent who is a dog and a child and a child. So the dog has adopted the child, and even though the parent is a dog, the dog is quite bright and very, very smart, and a very intelligent dog. And so this is another American cartoon called Peabody and Sherman. So you are smarter than your child on the technology, but you know what? You're still a dog. Or are you the Jetsons? The Jetsons are about a family that are all from the future, you know? And so everyone's pretty savvy on their technology. How would you describe your relationship with technology in comparison to your son?
This is such a cute 4 analogies you brought this up, and it really makes it very vivid, right? I would say that in different circumstances, top three applies in our relationship. Sometimes we are both our Stone Age people. We don't know what to be done, right? And of course, as a parent, I know he's smarter than me in terms of technology and many other ways. And in the third one, where I'm dog as a parent, yet I'm smart. And I often claim that you're smart because I'm smart.
Because he can't know, right? Yeah. And so
no, it's just a joke, but then I will not take the credit from him of his hard work. So, yeah.
Thank you for playing along with that. What is
it was really fun.
Yeah, what is the one thing that you want our listeners to walk away from with this interview?
If I can ask for 3 things, because I am more about 3 things, like RAE, 3 fundamental pillars, 3 services I provide. So I'll give you 3 tips. Whoever is listening or will listen to this recording, reflect, have a dialogue with yourself, who you want to become as a parent. In my case, I would say that my journey started when I started looking within that I don't want to be a regretting mother.
Mhm.
Which means I often heard, I don't know how much time we have time. So I'll just tell you a very, whenever I listen to this line, I get goosebumps. I feel scared. So parents who have 2 or 3 children, maybe it not doesn't apply to you, Arcadia, but often I listen and encounter parents. Oh my God, I have done a lot of mistakes in raising my first child, but thankfully I have overcome the errors for my second child. And to me, it bleeds. My heart pains for the child, for the first child, because because of your ignorance, because of your parents' negligence, if I can use this word, the child is suffering and did not get the right kind of nurture or environment or surroundings. And for me, I reflected, he's the only child. I cannot mess with him and with his future. Hence, that became my mantra, like no regret. If I don't even feel like doing certain things, I like, no, I don't want to regret. So I wanted to, everyone take this, who you want to become as a parent first. Second, whatever coming in your way, whatever challenges, struggles, situations which are out of your control are coming on your way to
Ray, I think we might have lost her. I'm going to see. I think we might have lost her. She will call back. She will call back. We were almost to the end of our interview with her, actually. And so I'm just going to fill in a little bit and see if she calls back, and then maybe we can have an opportunity to say goodbye. But my last question to her, which I can actually help answer, is where can we find out a little bit more about Ray? And so I'm going to have Bia, if you can put in the chat some of her links to her Facebook group or Facebook and Instagram, as well as her website. You can find out a little bit more about supportive parenting and, you know, where you can like, you know, understand a little bit more about what her path and her 3 pillars are. And I guess you were right at the end. I'm so sorry, but we cannot seem to get her back. And so anyway, I want to thank Deepa, and I know you'll be probably watching this after. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for kind of leading us with your journeys and stories and your experience on supportive parenting. It was a really interesting conversation. And it was a conversation that I think will help us think a little bit deeply about this role of parenting. Again, I wanted to say hello. Thank you so much for listening in. You know, it was about 45 minutes of us just 2 friends having a conversation on the topic of parenting. If you want to know a little bit more about infinite screen time and you know how to flip the conversation around screen time so that rather than focusing on all of the negatives, how can we recast this conversation with screens onto something that's more connective and more positive? Hold on. I think here she is again. And maybe she can join me in saying goodbye. Hi. Here is my Instagram. Here is the, you can come follow me on Instagram. It's Instagram /
Back.
Hi, Infinite Screen Time. Hold on. Hi, Deepa. Thank you. I'm so sorry we lost you, and you were just about finishing up the conversation about what you wanted, listeners to walk away from. I was just telling people about my Facebook group. I will do that, and then we'll flip back to you and talk about how people can find out a little bit more about you. And so I have a wonderful Facebook group, and if you're not part of it, please join. I do daily posts on tips on how to sort of reposition screen time again, but also what Deepa was talking about, like sort of really leaning in on the information, really leaning in on the research, really leaning in on what it means to parent around technology, and just arming us with more information, and also with access to what the choices might be. And so I would love for you to join us in the Infinite Screen Time Facebook group. And then I'm gonna send it back to you, Deepa. Deepa, if you can just tell folks about, if people want to find out more about you, where can they go?
Anywhere like LinkedIn, from LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Can you hear me, Arcadia?
Yes, I can. I was just checking to see, making sure that it's still live casting.
Yeah, RAEwithDeepa. Just type RAE with Deepa, DEEPA. So if there is there was a whole lot of links, I will share it on the Facebook page.
Yes,
afterwards.
They're already shared. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Yes. So RAEwithDeepa, wherever you will type RAE with Deepa, you will find me. Just message me. I'm available for any kind of support.
Cool. Thank you so much, Deepa. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate
my apologies for this technology error. So I'm really
I know sometimes the technology, it doesn't want to play with us in the way that we intended to.
I know.
But
and that's how the life is.
Yeah, and you kind of have to roll with it. So today we shared about supportive parenting. Next week, November 25th, right here, the same channel, same time, I am going to be having a conversation with my friend Lisa Rosen, and we're going to be talking about breath work and screen time. She is a breath work specialist, and you would think that this thing that we know how to do it, we're actually doing it quite wrong. The thing that we know how to do is breathe, right? And so we're going to talk about this very interesting relationship between screen time and breathing. And do you know this term called screen time apnea? We're going to be talking about that. And then the week after, December 2nd, I'm going to be talking to my good friend Shalini. And Shalini is, we were talking about, is there a training course on parenting? In fact, there is. PET is a really well-known sort of path on parenting, and it is well-researched, psychology-based. It comes from America, and it's called Gordon Parenting Parent Effectiveness Training. And Shalini is certified parent effectiveness coach here in Hong Kong, and she has such a wealth of experience and knowledge helping clients really sort of have better conversations, supportive conversations. Yeah, Deepa, you should come by and check that out too, because there's a lot of overlap and understanding.
Yeah, I did. We both worked together. We have done interviews together. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I love Hong Kong for that reason. There's such a wonderful, supportive, interconnected group
Absolutely
of like-minded people. And so thank you so much.
I'm still looking for in Singapore.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you'll find it. I know you will. It's like bees to honey. People will come. And so thank you so much for your time. And thank you everybody for watching. And I hope to see you next week. It is so awesome to be live.
Thank you.
Again,
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arcadia.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.